Hello everyone. Okay, now it is time to move towards SST. Now we are going to deal with Civics chapter number 3, electoral politics. Now we are very much aware about politics nowadays because everything is exposed to us. So electoral politics. What is electoral politics? Electoral means something related to elections. So we are going to learn everything about elections in this chapter. So in a democratic form of government, people elect their representatives to run the government and distinguish democratic elections from non-democratic elections. We belong to a country like India where we follow democratic government. So for this government to run properly, we need to have elections, and to have elections we need to have representatives, we need to have candidates. So this is all about elections. So in a democratic form of government, people we okay, common people, we elect our representatives to run the government, and we are there who distinguish between democratic elections from the non-democratic elections. We are not going to move towards non-democratic elections. We are going to concentrate in this chapter on democratic elections. Okay, let us study this, okay, through an example of the state Haryana. It's just an example, okay. Since 1982 sorry, since 1982 the state of Haryana was ruled by the Congress government. So Haryana, since 1982, their Congress government was ruling in the sense people had voted the representatives of Congress party. So because of that, Congress party was ruling in that state. If we take current example of Maharashtra is being ruled by or governed by alliance government, okay. And this alliance government is formed by three parties: NCP, INC, and Shiv Sena. Okay, so these three parties are have made a government, and they are governing us, or they are ruling us. So Congress party was ruling Haryana since 1982. However, the people of the state were not happy with the government's policies and practices. So people were fed up of Congress government at that time, and they were not at all happy. As the time for the next state elections approached, an opposition leader, Chaudhry Devilal, promoted the Nyaya Yodha, or struggle for justice movement, and he formed the Lok Dal party and joined hands with other opposition parties against the ruling Congress government. So looking at the scenario, there was one person, his name was Chaudhry Devilal. What he did, he promoted the idea of the Nyaya Yodha. Nyaya Yodha means struggle for justice, and he formed a party. He named the party Lokdal Party, which would fight against the Congress party in the state of Haryana. He also joined hands with other opposition parties. Ruling party of Haryana was Congress. Okay, if the ruling party was Congress, then the opposition party was Lokdal, which was formed by Chaudhry Devilal with other opposition parties which were there in Haryana. So he joined hands with them, and he started promoting his party. How he promoted? In the election campaign, by campaigning. In the election campaign, Devilal promoted the Nyaya Yodha. He promised to waive all outstanding loans of the farmers and small businessmen if his party came to power and formed the government. So what promises he gave? He promised the people that if his party wins the election, if his party comes to the power, then he would waive all the outstanding loans of the farmers and small businessmen. Whatever extra loan or charges were put on the farmers, small farmers and small businessmen, he would remove all those charges, and he would make them free from all those loans and everything which was given to them by the Congress party. He would make them tension free. So these kind of promises he made to the people if his party wins the election. This proved to be a major attraction for the unhappy people in the state and Devi Lal's key to success. So this was the key thing which attracted people's attentions towards Devi Lal and his party. So in 1987 state election, the people of Haryana voted the ruling Congress party out and the Lok Dal party with 60 out of 90 seats in the state assembly and emerged with a clear majority. So what happened? People were already fed up with Congress and they saw some hope in Lok Dal party and Chaudhary Devi Lal. So out of 90 seats, 60 seats were won by Lok Dal party and they came with clear majority, and Lok Dal party became the clear winner of that election. So Congress was thrown out of the election by the people. Only 30 seats were won by them. The members of the newly elected State Legislative Assembly announced Devi Lal as the leader, and he was sworn in as the Chief Minister of the state by the Governor of Haryana. As soon as Devi Lal took charge as the CM, he wasted no time in fulfilling his promises and waived the outstanding loans of all the farmers and small businessmen. So he was chosen as the leader of the Lok Dal party. Also, he sworn in as the Chief Minister of Haryana, and he did not waste his time. He immediately fulfilled his promises which he had given to those people while campaigning, that if his party wins the election, he would do so these things. So he started waiving the outstanding loans of the small farmers and the businessmen. Devi Lal's party remained in power for 4 years until the next state elections held in 1991. So this means every elections they take place after 5 years. So for the next state elections, Devi Lal's party lost that election in 1991 and the Congress again came to power. So this is how Congress again came to power in Haryana. This is what democratic election is. Not a single party wins the elections again and again. There are chances for other parties to come and to show their propaganda and assure people that they would do something better for the society. They would improve the conditions of the society. These all the promises they make to the society, and they win the election. And this is how every time you will find a new party or another party winning the election, and they do something better for the people. We have learned that people in more than 100 countries over the world select their representatives through elections. Some of these countries are democratic while others are not. In non-democratic countries in those countries also people they have elections, but those elections are non-democratic elections. We are talking about democratic elections. So what is the need of an election in a democracy? Why do we need election? Why can't we sit together and why can't we talk about our day-to-day problems, and why we should not take out our solutions out of our problems? Why do we need elections? This is a question. Firstly, we need to appreciate that the larger community, it is not possible for all the people to sit together regularly and decide on various matters of concern. So we are 135 crore people in India. And we 135 crore people, we cannot sit together every day discussing our matters, right? We cannot find out solutions. 135 crore people having meetings every day. Is it possible practically? No, it is not possible. For this we need elections. Therefore people elect their representatives to manage these decisions. So who take decisions on our behalf? Our representatives, to whom we have voted and made them winners of that election. So those representatives, they look after these situations. They find out solutions for us, our problems. So these representatives are elected, and for this elections are needed. Okay, so what is an election now? The process by which people choose their representatives at regular intervals is known as an election. What is an election? The process. It is a process, okay, by which people choose their representatives. What kind of a process? A process in which people choose their representatives at regular intervals. It's not like that if PM Modi has been elected as the Prime Minister of India for the rest of our life. No, he has to conduct the elections. He has to face all these things. He has to face the elections. We have to vote for him. Or if we are not happy with his work, then we will vote for any other person who would be the next PM of our country. This is how it changes. And at regular intervals, after every 5 years, these elections are held. That means the tenure of a representative, elected representative, is of 5 years. So at every regular intervals, or after every 5 years, these elections have to be held. Then only it is democratic elections. Otherwise it would not fit in the democratic election criteria. So what is an election? The process by which people choose their representatives at a regular intervals. It is known as election. So till here we are going to study in this part of the chapter video. Please watch it and try to differentiate between, try to understand what is democratic election. In this video we had learned about what is an election. We had seen the example of what's his name, Chaudhary Devi Lal. He was how he became the chief minister of Haryana, and again how his party lost the election in the next state elections. Okay, and this is how we have learned that not a single person is permanent leader of any part of the country, or the country as a whole. Okay, so these are elections, democratic elections, where representatives are being elected by the people at regular intervals in a fair means. Okay, till here we are going to study. Please leave your comments in the comment section, and we are going to deal with the characteristics of elections, merits and demerits of elections, what are the types of elections which are held in India. Everything we are going to deal with all these things in our next part of the video. Till then, please watch it again, read this much part in the textbook and in the refresher, mark the important points, and leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you.